In the world of academia, crimes against e-cigs are considered especially heinous. That requires a special breed of investigator, the Special Vaping Unit. These are their stories. And it's Thursday. It is. Hello, good evening, welcome. How are you now? Those of you that have been enticed to come along because you have been promised boobs, they're mine. Somebody on Twitter said as well, would I please mention NNA tonight? No, not happening. Boobs with NNA written across them. What more could you ask for? I know. Not mine, somebody else's. That's fine. Now, I've just read chat and somebody's sitting there chanting free shit. There are many things that I will do live on the show. That is not one of them. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry and all that. It just isn't. I'll give you some free advice though. We'll definitely do that. We have actually got a packed show for you tonight, although we are a man down. There's a definite lack of Keithage. Keith is poorly bad in bed with a shawl on, both feet in one sock, and he is actually waiting for the doctor to come. Since he got back from his holiday in foreign climes, that Spain place, him and his wife, they've been coughing and barking. Well, you heard him last week. And he's worse this week. So Keith won't be with us tonight. However, I am joined by Clapton Coiler par excellence, one Matthew Garish, who is also poorly bad in bed with a shawl on, only he's not in bed, but he's poorly bad. Aren't you, Matt?
Yeah, this call is really good.
Is that the one?
If anyone didn't, yeah, it's the one I just made.
It's the one you just made?
Yeah.
Yes. See, I shall point out for the delectation of the viewing audience that Matt decided to get his drill out and make his own Clapton stuff, and it's two bits of wire up the middle, and then the other stuff curled over the top, but it's also slightly twisted. It looks rather nice, and he assures me that I'm dropping you in it here, Matt. He's going to film it, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Yes, Whip It Up says he was watching Cameron, but he's doing his heading. That's Cameron doing Whip It Up's heading. And we've got Sav tonight, haven't we, Sav?
We have indeed.
That just flicked across. They've put a new plug in on the Hingoots, and it's working very nicely now. And you've got your hair out?
I know. That's because I woke up in time.
Look at it all.
Don't get used to it because it's not going to happen next week.
Say, I like it.
I like it as well, but I mean, it needs tamed and it's like electrocuted and all that kind of stuff just to get it to sit still.
I was thinking it might just be me, but I was just thinking how attractive it looked, and it takes years off your love.
Oh, why, thank you kindly. What do you want?
Well, I'll have that Ethos crispy.
Oh, you can have that.
I'll have that Rice Krispie treats back if you don't want it.
You can have that.
For definite, aye, for sure, aye. Sav doesn't like Rice Krispie treats from Ethos. Why not, Sav? Tell everybody why.
Because all I taste from it, and it may be my tank, maybe my settings, but all I can taste of it is saccharin. I don't like saccharin. It's way too sweet.
Is it? Be buggered. Well, I'm here. I've got that in here. Look, magnets. I've got that in here, and I like it.
Well, you can have it.
Lush. Utter lushness. I've played the titles, haven't I?
You have?
I have,
yeah.
I have. There's just us. Listen, it's a queer week. Any week of a bank holiday is always a queer week. It's funny. It's strange and weird and wonderful because you tend not to get what I would call proper news. A bank holiday week, because it's a short week, the proper news outlets tend not to do proper news. I speak as a one-time journalist. The only people that do put press releases out are what I would characterise as arseholes. Did I say that out loud?
You did?
I did. And here's one. Here's one that's been in the world of, characterised by arseholes. And this is from Allen Carr's Easy Way press office, it says here. And it says, e-cigarettes, the new health time bomb, it says. This was on Monday, Bank Holiday Monday. You know, of all the days to put a press release out, Bank Holiday Monday really isn't the one. But, you know, so right, it says here, 59% of smokers think public vaping leads kids to try it. Right, look, I know what I'm going to do. We're going to play a drinking game tonight, chaps and chapesses, right? It's a drinking game. Look at Sam's face.
I love drinking.
It's a drinking game, right? And this is how it works. This is how it works. Every time you hear a lie in a press release, you have to take first a drink and then the biggest vape you can manage. I will demonstrate. You take a drink. And then a vape.
Would it be wise to fill this 7ml tank up now?
I think so. I think so.
Right.
I will say, don't do what I just did and confuse the two. It's no good vaping you drink. So this is the drinking game. When you hear a lie, you take a drink, you have a vape. I'll point the first one out. Are you ready? Here we go. 59% of smokers think public vaping leads kids to try it. Drink and vape. Are we ready for the next bit?
Yep.
Here we go. The British public, and smokers in particular, are concerned about the use of e-cigarettes and confused about their safety, according to exclusive research conducted by Allen Carr addiction clinics, with 47% of people claiming they view e-cigarettes as the new health time bomb for the NHS. Drink and vape. Next. To coincide with World No Tobacco Day on 31st of May 2016, a poll of 1,000 smokers and non-smokers conducted by one poll highlights that 56% of people are concerned about government policy which encourages the use of e-cigarettes and has plans to prescribe them on the NHS. Hang on, there are no plans to prescribe e-cigs on the NHS. That has to go through NICE. NICE hasn't yet ratified it. So, drink and vape. Right, let's carry on. I like this game. A further 56% of those polled said that they are confused about the safety of e-cigarettes, including 49% of people that already use e-cigarettes. Not a drink and vape. That is actually, which camera? That one. True. The fact of the matter is, even vapers, a large percentage of them are confused about the safety of e-cigs. It's a little pause, so you've got time to get the drinkies down, but it is true. And it is true because the likes of the Daily Fail and the Mirror and the rest of the shit sheets, the arse rags, have been, as we all know, publishing utter crap about e-cigs for donkey's ages. And we'll be coming on to some other stuff about that later on. So the fact of the matter is, while it's not true that e-cigs are more dangerous or as dangerous as cigarettes. A lot of people think they are, and that's directly down to, oh, I've got to be so careful because I was told I was too sweary last week, which I probably was, but that's directly down to the fuckwits that are lying. Am I safe to say that, Sav?
Yes, you are. Fuckwits is fine.
Fuckwits is all right.
Yep.
That's not really swearing.
No.
That's okay. Let's carry on. New health time bomb. Oh, I think that deserves a drink and a vape. New health. It's not a health time bomb, for God's sake. Come on, Sav. Get stuck in, pit. Are you not drinking, Matt?
Sorry?
Or are you just
I didn't
doing...
quite get that.
Are you not drinking?
Oh, God, no, not when it's cold.
That bad, is it?
Yes.
Right, let's carry on. 20% of smokers claim to know of someone, including themselves, who is addicted to e-cigarettes. Drink and vape. Nobody is addicted to e-cigarettes. We know that. It's been proven. This could be the shortest bloody show we've ever done. We're going to be pissed by at last. What's up?
Well, Tony P has brought up a valid point. He says, this is going to take all night to read through and we'll all be too pissed to care.
Look, I think in order to be safe and to get to the end of the show without being we'll let everybody else do the drinking game. I'll try and refrain. This is the first time for everything. Right. Yes. Worryingly, it says here, 67% felt current policy was more likely to encourage children to try e-cigarettes, which will only add to the problem. Listen, JD at Allen Carr, Incorporated International, wherever, they've got offices everywhere, in Turkey, Mexico, all over the world. They're a big money spinning organisation. £279, right, to go and get brainwashed, right? If you've got that kind of money to spend on getting brainwashed, Sav and I have a bridge over the River Tyne, would love to sell you. No bother at all. Look, let me put this in words of one syllable because I can. If children are more encouraged to try e-cigarettes and less encouraged to try tobacco cigarettes, that is what they call a win. A public health win, a public health dividend. In fact, it would end up, he said, looking at the right camera when he's pressed the right button, it would end up being a bloody miracle. Because the truth of the matter is, whilst e-cigarettes might not be completely harmless, nothing is. Nothing is completely harmless, right? Nothing. Everything carries a risk with it. Everything carries, even toothpaste. People have died from toothpaste. The most innocuous thing in the world, you would think. The thing that everybody uses every morning, every night. People have died from it, right? So there's nothing safe. But if kids decide, oh, I like the flavour of the whatever it is, Knickerbocker Glory, bubble gum, or anything else, and they decide that they're going to give e-cigs a try, we know what the risk profile of e-cigs is. And it's tiny weeny little risk profile. Where the risk profile of cigarettes, smoked tobacco, and I've got to go to this one, is huge, big, massive, big, huge, right? That's the way it works. Tiny weeny e-cigs, huge, big, massive for other stuff. So yes, if it's more likely to encourage children to try e-cigarettes, 2 big thumbs up, celebratory drink and a vape. And while I do that, I need to apologise to everybody that I told there was going to be live sex. There was live sex just before the pre-show, but unfortunately, the 2 flies that were having it have flown away. I'm very sorry. If that disappoints you, Spankwire, Pornhub, fill your boots. Actually, if you fill your boots, that would be... yeah, I'd rather go back to Allen Carr. Let's... yes. Overall, it says, it seems, the British public is ashamed of its e-cigarettes habit. Drink. More than 21% were embarrassed to use their e-cigarettes in public. Yes, they are. They absolutely are. And the reason they're embarrassed to use their e-cigarettes in public is because of fuckwits like Allen Carr organisation telling everybody that they're bad for them. I'd be embarrassed. Only I'm not. I promised boobies as well, didn't I? Woohoo! Where was I? Yes. 57% felt e-cigarettes shouldn't be allowed in restaurants. I say restaurants should make that decision for themselves. There's no need for legislation. And in actual fact, Sav and I have both been to a place that was a restaurant come pub, pub come restaurant. It wasn't the most celebratory of occasions, but they had no problems whatever. I'm going to go dual screen here, Sav. Whoops. They had no problems whatever with us vaping, did they?
None at all. None at all. Absolutely fine with it.
They were more than fine with it. Let's be absolutely honest about this. We set the fire alarms off. Well, the smoke alarms, didn't we?
We did.
We did. Sorry. Own up. I did.
Well, you and Dave kids.
That was mostly me.
Mostly you.
I'll take the blame, I don't mind. And given the centre of attention on that occasion, she'd have laughed.
She would.
And I daresn't lie, just in case. It was mostly me. We set the smoke alarms off, and this is a restaurant come pub, right? And he came out and he says, "Oh, it's all right, it's okay, I'll switch them off, it's fine, it's all right, I know what it's about." And everybody else in the pub's just sitting going,
Yeah, not one single person, when the smoke alarms went off, reacted. Not one single person.
they didn't. Well, the reaction was more like, it was him.
We all just went, he did it.
He did it, it was him, he set them off.
Regulars at the bar sort of gave a cursory, is the place on fire? No, I'll continue with my pint.
Exactly.
And that was it.
Even the ones around the back in the area where we weren't, they kind of looked round and went, "Oh, that's all right, it's only him vaping, it's fine, no problem." So down to the restaurants, I think. Allen Carr has no say in this. Yeah, exactly right. Anyway, let's carry on. It says more than 50% felt someone smoking an e-cigarette was the most intrusive thing that could happen in their personal space. Oh, seriously, honestly, if that's the worst thing they've got to worry about, bloody Nora.
Ow.
Take them out into Newcastle on a Friday night and set the 18-year-old lads that haven't had their leg over for a month on them, if they think that's going to intrude on their personal space. I can just see an 18-year-old Geordie with a boner coming up against those lots. Seriously, honestly, what are these people on? If you seriously, that's 4 drinks. 4 drinks. At least 4 drinks and 4 vapors. Oh, dear God. Let's carry on. 52%, it says here, felt e-cigarettes shouldn't be used at all in public spaces such as on trains or in workplaces. You know what I think? Oh, get on, Sav, tell them, because honestly, I'm pissing myself laughing here.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, we've both used e-cigs on trains and nothing bad happened.
No, in fact, as I recall, can you remember when Daz and Mark came down to London with us?
Yeah.
And we broke them.
Yeah.
Going down, we had breakfast on the train, as you do. And it was, the sausage and egg and bacon and tomatoes and a couple of pints.
It was a good train journey.
I will remember Daz's face. Would you like a drink with your breakfast? I'll have a pint. Okay, fine. To be honest, we knew the crew. And it kind of started from there. And we were vaping all the way down, and all you could hear was, "Can you smell strawberries?"
Yeah.
And Daz is sitting there, and he's being very, 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 very stealthy. He's kind of wasn't he?
Yeah.
And Mark was sitting there and he's going, as Mark did, that was what he did.
Yeah.
And all you heard was, can you smell strawberries? I can smell vanilla. No, it's strawberries. Somebody getting strawberry porridge and we're not. Nobody said a word.
No, and every time, I think bar one, someone's come up and went, oh, where'd you get that one from? I've got a little in like a tab one,
Uh-huh.
but I've never seen a one like that.
Uh-huh.
And then they sit and chat, and or you'll get, I mean, a couple of times we've had sort of people working in universities and things like that going, oh, it's funny that I've bumped into you guys. I'm doing a study on blah-de-blah, blah-de-blah, and
Well,
interested in all that type of it.
it's as a direct result of a train journey that I'm actually doing this study with the dentists.
Yeah.
You know?
We've never, ever had a pick a bother.
Well,
Ever.
last time I came back up from London, this was funny. I'm sitting there, and you know the way, when I get on the train, I'll just get the gear out and clag it on the table.
Yeah.
So she was a Newcastle lass. She comes along and she says, "Mind pet, you can't use them on here. It's illegal." I says, "It's not illegal. I'm not going to argue with you. But all right, you've said so." She says, "I didn't sit there and use them." She says, "If I was you, in fact, if I do," she says, "just gone down to the bog. There's no detectors in there. You can do what you like." I got in there to cloud. I says, "All right then, pet. Right, thank you very much. I'm on gin, by the way." She says, "I know." Shall we carry on with this? I'm trying to be slightly serious tonight. I have the subtle suspicion it's not going to happen. But who cares?
The effort's noted, though.
Yes, I'm trying.
Yeah.
Very trying, as your mum used to say. Yes,
very.
aye, right. Let's carry on. So we've got the regional attitudes. Really, I suppose, given the subject of the next paragraph, I ought to get Matt to read this with his new gravelly South London voice, but maybe he's not. I'll read it. I'll do an impersonation of Matt with his gravelly South London voice. Is that all right, Matt? He's gone
Once
quiet.
I'm unmuted, yes, sure.
All right then, son. Here we are. This is Matt as he is at the moment. You're right. All right, son. Here we go. Those in London were most concerned about the impact of e-cigarettes, 54%, while those in the East Midlands were least concerned, with only 39% worried about their impact. That's not true. That can't be true. That's definitely a drink and a vape. It is. And now we get to John Dacey. John Dacey. Right. What you need to know, Allen Carr died of lung cancer. Is what Alan... And I should point out, it's not the Allen Carr with the glasses and the buck teeth who wants to be the boyfriend of Got One. It's not that Allen Carr. If you think it's that one, it's not. It's not him, right? This is another Allen Carr with an E, not an A after the L's. A-double-L-E-N, Carr, not A-L-A-N, Carr. One's out and proud, the other one's dead of lung cancer. Packed in smoking, got lung cancer. I would just switch to e-cigs. That's what I would do. Anyway, John Dacey is now the global managing director and senior therapist of the Allen Carr addiction clinics, which is enough to make you want the sick bucket to start with. And he says, "We support anything that helps smokers to quit, but these research findings highlight that consumers, including smokers themselves, are confused and wary about the impact of government policy, changing attitudes to vaping, and are unclear how safe e-cigarettes actually are. At Allen Carr addiction clinics, we're extremely concerned by the way e-cigarettes are marketed and are being pushed as safe, appropriate for use in public places, making smoker-like behaviour more common. Aside from those issues, it will be years before the long-term negative health effects relating to e-cigarettes are known. The fact we already have e-cigarette users attending our clinics wanting help to stop indicates that vaping is not the silver bullet that government hopes it is. And he is a grade 1, class A, medal earning, double stripe fuckwit. Because that paragraph now requires each and every one of you to drink a full bottle of gin, scotch, brandy, sherry, whatever your tipple of choice is, because that is the biggest pile of festering, fetid dingo kidneys I have ever come across in all my born days. What he doesn't do is share his conflicts of interest, which are huge. The Allen Carr Easy Way is a global organisation dedicated to parting people from their money. £279 a pop, and they reckon that they can take you into a room in groups of 20 or so, and in 4 hours you come out of there a non-smoker and happy about it. They sell their execrable services to corporate bodies, including, they say, Johnson & Johnson, who are makers of nicotine replacement therapy. So either Johnson & Johnson are really not very sure about their own NRT products, or the Allen Carr organisation is being, how can I put this, frugal with facts. I'm pretty sure they've done work for them, but I dare bet it didn't come from the NRT arm of Johnson & Johnson. They're backed, apparently, by Richard Branson of Virgin. Yeah. Enough said, eh? We've spent half an hour. Go on, Sav, go on, you've got something to say.
I just have to read out Neil Robinson's comment. He said, I thought the fags would kill me. Turns out it's the VTTV drinking game.
Have we,
Sorry, Neil.
have we broken some people? Have we?
A few livers are complaining apparently in chat through the drinking game.
Well,
Good.
there's two less people in chat, so I think 2 of them are passed out.
Oh dear.
Well, I'm kind of hoping it was somebody from Allen Carr coming to say what we were going to say about them. And if it was somebody from Allen Carr and they fucked off, good, they can fuck off. Oh. There. I've chastised myself. Apparently you're allowed to do that. Shall we do something a bit more uplifting?
Yeah,
let's do something a bit more uplifting. Now, prior to Matt getting the lurgy, big style, he thrilled me. Do I need to rephrase that?
Yes, you do. Very quickly.
No, I don't. I love Matt's video techniques, and you'll see why when he looks at 2 juices from the Carnival range, which is going to happen around about now. Marco, that's what you call a seamless link.
Hello, it is juice review time. So, as I like to do my juice reviews, I like to change the perspective a little bit. So that's the studio behind me, essentially. Yeah. So this is a juice review, otherwise known as how to fill 5 minutes legitimately. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to look at 2 juices today. We have got the 2 from Carnival, Screwball, and teacups. Essentially, these are supposed to conjure up memories of the carnival. There are more liquids in the range, but I've only got these 2 flavours. So, because I'm nicely prepared, I've already pre-dripped. What have I pre-dripped? The teacups. These are 30ml bottles, by the way. 6mg. Sorry, 3mg. My mistake. I misread that. I don't entirely know what the PG-VG ratio is. So I'm suggesting possibly 80% VG. Yeah, it doesn't actually say on the label. Usual gubbins like, but childproof drop-off bottles, you know the type. The type that ain't going to be allowed still, but you know. Anyway, I've got this on a Velocity, on a DNA 200, and I've got a nickel build in it, 2 coils, coming out at 0.06, 570 degrees Fahrenheit at 100 watts. So I know I said I pre-dripped it, but I have been vaping it already because I'm cheating like that. So it'd probably be wise to sort of fill her up again, yeah? Oh, okay. There we go. Right. By the way, there's a thunderstorm about to happen, so you might hear crack of thunder. That's kind of the reason I actually put the camera facing the window, because you never know. Like it's some lightning, dramatic effects. Anyway, this is juice. Carnival. So this is teacups. Now, I presume, was it the teacup ride or something? I don't know. I was never one for fun fairs. I'm a killjoy. I might need to turn the wattage down a little bit because it's complaining about the temperature. Maybe I should have gone for a straight Canfell build in this, but what the hell. Let's stick at 80 watts. La 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 la. 80. This is a weird one because you've got some bergamot in there, right? You know, because that kind of makes the tea. It's sort of that, you know, that Earl Grey sort of bergamot. Very, very tiny amount. I think some chocolate. But what I'm getting most of all, and because I really don't like what I'm about to say, I'm getting some mint. I really don't like mint or spearmint. The herb mint is fine. The stuff you put on in your mint sauce for your lamb. Happy with that. Mints, you know, tree boar, imperials, that sort of thing. Don't like them. Can't stand them. Okay. I even have cinnamon flavored toothpaste because I don't like mint flavored toothpaste. But it's not unpleasant, which is strange for me to say that when it comes to mint. By the way, if you're wondering, what you're seeing behind me there is the audio track being recorded. Yeah, it's a bit of fun, isn't it? Yeah, okay. You can see it's producing the clouds all right, not a problem. I mean, this is by no means an exotic build on here. I mean, look, it's nothing fancy. Sorry, focus. I'm on a DSLR here. Yeah, it's not going to autofocus. So I can't do that because then things like this happen. Yeah. So take my word for it. It's not the prettiest of builds, but it works. You know, it's not triple backflip paradiddle alien Clapton infinity coils with a pony, is it? You know, it's not stuff made from unicorn string. But you know, yeah, it's weird, sort of. I quite like it, but I kind of don't. Let's put it this way: I ain't going to be opening any more of it. But it's not unpleasant. That's the screwball, Matt. It's not unpleasant. It's just not really for me. The young lady that lives downstairs with me, or the wife, will probably enjoy it though. She likes mint. Right. Okay. That's enough of me waffling about this particular flavour. It's chocolatey, minty, bit of bergamot in there. It's not unpleasant. I just don't particularly like it that much. Not really to my taste. Right, jump cut time, and then because I'm going to change the cotton because of reasons of flavour, and then we'll do the screwball. Right, we're back. So now I'm about to drip some screwball onto this freshly cottoned up dripper, same one as before. You know, I just changed the wick and give it a rinse under the tap, that sort of thing, you know. So let's juice this up. Now this one I'm particularly looking forward to. Let's have a bit of sniff. Because you know what screwball means. Well, it probably means the same to a lot of you guys. You know, the ice cream things with the bubble gum in the bottom. Bubble gum. Yeah. Really creamy. As you can see by the fact that I'm blowing more clouds of it, I prefer this one. It tastes just like you know a screwball, yeah, you know that you're getting that plastic cone with the little ball of bubble gum in the bottom. It tastes just like you just got to the bottom of the ice cream. You know when it's melted and it's more liquid than frozen, and it's starting to mix in with the coating of the bubble gum ball. That's exactly what this tastes like. It's quite authentic, actually. I need more drippage. Yeah, I quite like that. It's quite sickly, mind. It's not an all-day vape, not by any stretch. It's quite sickly. It's one of those ones you have a go at every now and again. So, by which token, this 30ml bottle will probably last me by until the time the 30ml bottles are no longer allowed to be sold. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. I quite like that. Like I said, it's not all-day vape material, but it's tasty nonetheless. Right, I think I've actually filled more than 5 minutes. I mean, looking at the tablet down here, yeah, I've overfilled 5 minutes. So I filled 5 minutes with a bonus. So that was the 2 liquids from Carnival. Back to the studio.
Boink. That ended quicker. There was a lot of black on the end of that I hadn't seen. Matt, was the Carnival? That's the outfit that was up opposite us at.
No, that wasn't them. That was. I forget where they were. They just come along and gave me bottles of juice.
Did they?
Yeah. No, they weren't the Vincent Vapes opposite us.
Vincent. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's French for Vincent.
Yes.
Yes. Nice. Sounds nice. I'll have to try them the next time we're together. They sound all right. That's good. During the course of that video, there was talk about nasties being generated in e-liquid, and as luck would have it, I have some information on this. This has come from Miroslav Dvornichak. I used to be able to say that. This is on the nicotinepolicy.net site, and if you need to go there, nicotine policy, spelled as you would expect, .net. Go there. There's lots and lots of good information. It's Jerry Stimson and Paddy and NNA and what have you. And this is all about glycerin, right? Which is 1,2,3-propanotriol. Is one of the main ingredients of e-cigarette liquid, it says here. Most people are familiar with glycerin as it's widely used in food and pharmaceuticals. It acts as a solvent, humectant, and sometimes a sweetener. And that's the chemical model. It's colourless, odourless, quite viscous liquid that tastes sweet. Its name derives from the Greek word glyceros, sweet. It's usually referred to in vaping terms as VG, vegetable glycerin, although that's a bit misleading. Most glycerin available on the market comes from fats and oils. The two classes of the compounds are, chemically speaking, esters of glycerin. In order to obtain pure glycerin, oil has to be hydrolyzed. This is actually good stuff, right? This is proper science. And I like this. And I would like you all to go to nicotinepolicy.net and sign up, and you'll get all of this stuff coming at you, which might preempt what I'm doing in shows, but I don't really care. This is good stuff, and this is information you need to be able to speak to people who might be gainsaying what we know is the truth. Let's plough on. When it's hydrolyzed, as you can see from the chemical reaction above, there are two products, glycerin on the right and so-called salts of carboxylic acids, commonly known as soaps. And some glycerin is produced during the production of biodiesel. Let's jump ahead a little bit, and this is the bit I want to get to. Whoops. Oh, come on. Right. For VG, for glycerin, the boiling point is 200. Oh, do you know what? I practiced this earlier on to get it right, and I've got it wrong. I apologise. Right. The boiling point is 290 degrees Celsius. That's 650 degrees Fahrenheit, I think. I'm sure somebody will Google it and tell us for exact. But you've got to remember that heating this compound over 280 degrees results in thermal decomposition. The glycerin molecule turns into acrolein, the simplest unsaturated aldehyde, having quite low boiling point of 53 degrees. Acrolein is a very reactive compound. It's toxic and irritating, especially for the eyes and skin. Every vapor experiencing dry puff should be aware of the fact that they are inhaling an amount of acrolein. This should be avoided as it's not good for our health. Now, people talk about temperature control, right? And they kind of say, well, I'm not that keen, I don't use it, blah, blah, whatever, that's fine. But 290 degrees centigrade is hugely more than we would get from any mod. Even, and we're going to be looking at one later on, but any of the temperature control mods have a tendency to stop at 200 degrees centigrade. Would you agree, Matt?
I would agree.
They are.
Definitely.
And he's right about these things because he's very technical. He knows these things. So 200 degrees is a full 100 degrees centigrade, boiling point in other words, less than where the acrolein is going to be produced. That's why temperature control is good. It stops you from getting the nasties, right? Excellent stuff. Let's go back to this because I like this a lot. Don't copy. Glycerin in e-liquid plays two important roles. First, it is of course a solvent. Second, it helps make thicker clouds. If a vapor wants to have more visible aerosol, they should increase the percentage of glycerin in their liquid. But we have to remember that glycerin is viscous. Increasing the amount of solvent makes liquid thicker, and this may result in much worse transport to the wick. Vaping using liquid made entirely of glycerin would be almost impossible, as this would result in frequent dry puffs. I'm going to argue there, because I've used 100% glycerin, and while it is as thick as a bull's lug, if you've got the kit that can handle it, it can be delightful. I just thought I'd drop that in because there's more advice to come. We usually use a mixture of glycerin and propylene glycol. One piece of practical advice, it says here, if your liquid is still too thick and you don't want to dilute it too much with PG, use some drops of 95% alcohol instead. Or gin. Everything tastes better with gin. But remember, just a few drops, because even a small amount of alcohol decreases significantly the viscosity of e-liquid. In other words, it makes it runnier. When you use glycerin for DIY liquids, consider warming it before mixing it with other ingredients, as this will decrease its viscosity. Don't heat it directly over the flame. It's better to use a water bath. Of course, you don't need to buy expensive laboratory water baths, just a small pot, pour in some water, put it on the stove. Remember an important rule: the container with the glycerin in, which you put in the water bath, should be open, and therefore it should be secured in such a way that it won't topple. A simple rack will do. Look, what I'm going to say, there's a whole load of stuff on nicotinepolicy.net that will be of interest to vapers everywhere. Go and sign up. Again, it's free. Just go and do it, and you'll get all of this stuff thrown at you, which is excellent. While we're on about going places and doing things, can I just remind everybody that there's an outfit called Vapers in Power, right? And the link to that, vaporsinpower.wordpress.com, will do for you. And this is what they want you to do. It says the Lord's Vape Vote writing campaign, and there's been an update, right? They've now got things on YouTube as well. Go to hashtag Lord's Vape Vote on YouTube, and this is what you need to do, right? You need to choose a peer who hasn't been written to from the spreadsheet. Click on their name, then click on the send message. All of the information's there, right? Look, it's all there. I'm not going to read it all out because that would just be bloody silly when you can go and read it. vaporsinpower.wordpress.com. Go there. Do what they ask you. Write to a Lord. And it's important. Excuse me. Right. That's it. Better. Sorry, just had a little bit of a Right, now, look. Here's why it's important. And I want everybody to understand this. The Lords are not like MPs. MPs are always getting their constituents going, the woman next door sticks her clothes pegs on me baby's nipples. I don't know, whatever. They're always getting complaints. They're always getting jobs to do, right? And we're going to cover them in a little while, way bit later on. The Lords never get letters from us, from proletariat, from people, from consumers. They just don't. It doesn't happen, right? So, writing to the Lords makes so much of a difference. As of the moment, every one of the Lords that sits has had an email from somebody. I've sent them, Matt sent them, everybody sent them, we've all sent them. But keep on sending them. Send them to ones you haven't sent to already. Now, I'm not saying to sit down and spend 14 hours sending emails, because you can anyway, right? A couple a day will do. Bearing in mind that Martin Callanan, Lord Callanan of Llywelyn, his motion happens next week beginning the 6th of June. So we need this weekend to give it some humpty. That's like after the show tonight, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, get on it. Go to vaporsinpower.wordpress.com and do your bit. Go up and down the street. Get everybody you know to do this. Just to send emails to the Lords to tell them why the statutory instrument that implements the TPD in UK law is a festering pile of fetid dingo kidneys. I wouldn't use that phrase. They might not get it. Be nice and tell them. Tell them you need it gone. It's shite, get shot. Find a polite way of saying that and ask them if they will, in their wisdom, support Lord Callanan's motion. Even the ones that have already replied to people with a bag of crap, email them again. Don't attack them, but politely inform them that they're wrong, that they need to rethink their attitudes. Please, please, please do that this weekend. And then you won't have to put up with me doing reviews on stuff like this. Vapor Expo was very different, I thought. For me at any rate. Huge, massive. But I bought some stuff while I was down there. and I thought I would share with you one of the items that I bought, paid money for. Not full price, that's true to say, but nevertheless, I actually paid money for this. And it's something that I kind of quite like, this kind of thing. I'm into technology. I do like touch screens, think it's great. So I got hold of this. It's a Hell's Gate 200 touch. Boink. Look, it's touch screen. I can fiddle with it and it's not going to do anything stupid. Let me take you through it and show you how it all works, while demonstrating that it is a bit of a fingerprint magnet for me. This is a red one. There are other colours available. Let's start at the back where the batteries go in, and it's here. This is the battery section, right? Very easy to see. I shall even, because I can, zoom in so you get a better look around it. And here we go. Right, now, important, that little tabby thing. I'm going to take these batteries out because they need replaced anyway. As you might have seen by the indicator on the front, it's yeah, they're pretty flat. They need charged. So this is where the batteries go in, and you will see they are very strongly marked. So let's get some batteries, as one does. Note that I carry my batteries always in insulated protected catalyzers, on the basis that I don't want to blow myself up. So, negative to negative, and obviously I'm going to need to put this one in first, because that's where that piece of ribbon is. So that just pops in. You will see, I hope, I trust, that the, turn it around so they can see, David, there you are. That's the springy bit. And I've got to be absolutely honest and say that getting the positive to the springy bit grates on me. But that's the way it is. They've done that, I presume, because of space. So you slide that in, bingly bangly bungalow, it's in, and then magnets, see, magnets, and that's it. It goes in like that, as you'll be able to see. Now, on the silver one I've got, there's a little bit of slugger on that door. On this red one, not so much. So then what happens? What else have we got? Well, you'll see there's vent holes at the bottom. Much use they are, frankly, because there's plastic in the way. But the idea is, a bit like crash helmets and leathers and what have you on the bike, you don't actually want to test out whether they work. So you do things safely. It makes sense to me, at any rate. It does. Right. So yes, top. There's the 510 that you can see, and it is sprung, which is always good. You'll have to take my word for it because I haven't got anything to prog it with handy at the moment. But 510 thread, no air holes down there. This is not going to be used for anything that, you know, takes the air up there. This is not for mouth to lung people, I don't think. Fire butting on the side, as you would expect, and a USB, which will allow you to do all sorts of things, upgrade firmware, put your own pictures on instead of the pictures that are there, and so on and so forth. So to switch it on, it is the 5-click. Thumbs up, Hell's Gate. Sorts itself up, tells you there's no atomizer, that's good. Now at this point in time, you can touch the screen, and look, other side, use your other finger, David. You'd think I'd never done this before. So the further out you go, the faster it climbs. All the way up to 200 watts and all the way down. So tapping it kind of here-ish. And I want this to, oh, let's go to 70. No. Down. 75. So the closer you are to the figure, the slower it goes. The further away you get, the faster it goes. Having done that, oh, you can use these at the bottom as well if you want, just for onesies. These. But then you tap, you click locking, you click locking screen, and then out you like. Nothing. What else can it do? Well, let's unlock the screen again. And it asks you about this, so that's all good. Yes, unlock the screen, please. Thank you. And then you've got various different modes. So it'll do VTC, temperature control in nickel 200. That's in centigrade. On this side, it's in Fahrenheit, titanium and stainless steel. And I'm here to tell you, I've tried them all and they all work. So you can pick one, which is fine. I'm just going to press that button again. And there we go. Puff info, this is interesting. It tells you the time you have been puffing, which I find very interesting. And I'll show you why in a little while. But this is the actual time you've been drawing. So it can be useful. But we'll talk about that in a bit. Press the retween. Come on. Fingers are all clogged. There we go. You've got VW mode, so you select which mode you want. VW obviously is wattage. And that's where we're at. Back to this little background. This is where you get to put your own in, but it comes with a fair number already there. Mr. Kitson has his, with his logo, not logo, cartoon on and what have you. That's loadable from a PC. If you've got a Mac, and I'm all Mac, you're stuffed, lads and lasses, which is a bit of a bugger. That might get changed, you never know. And then help. And there's a whole load of information there of where you're at. So it's a Touch 200, hardware version is 0.3, firmware version 1.2, series number, blah, 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 and it's got its IDs and all the rest of it. And then you swipe through and it gives you all sorts of stuff that you need to know. So it's just like using a smartphone. I nearly said iPhone, but other smartphones are available too. So let's go back and lock it. And there we are, 'tis locked. I shall screw on an atomizer. In this case, it's a TF-RTA from Smok, which I quite like. It's got juice flow control. I don't know whether you can see, but as you turn that very easily, juice flow. This has got quad Clapton coils in, just so you know. So I shall open my airflow because I like my airflow open. Come on, Dave. Hey, God. I'm all fingers and thumbs this morning. Airflow is open. Juice flow fully open. And off we go. So there you have it. That's the run round. It's you know, it's not that difficult to work your way out. Work your way out? No, work your way around it. But this puff count thing. Right, now, let's be right about this before I even go and take a drag. Counting the actual number of drags somebody takes, if you are an academic looking to get information together, is about as much use as asking how many times a tennis player bounces a ball before he smacks it over the net. What does it do? It actually doesn't tell you much of anything. And the reason being, a puff can be, here we go, let's try this. Let's try this. That's a puff. And that's a puff. Let's have a look. Oh, I'm going to have another one of the first puffs. That's a puff. Now, that there was 3 puffs, you might think. 2 little ones and you get big one that took for longer. And the fact of the matter is, if you are taking longer drags, then you get more vapour, more volume. One would think more nicotine if you're using the same juice. So the amount of time that you've actually been dragging on this is very useful. And it's even useful if you know your batteries, or if you want to get to know your batteries. For instance, the way these things work, the way batteries work, is they store up energy. Think of it like a washing up liquid bottle. If you have a 1 litre washing up liquid bottle, you tell how often I do it, then it will hold a litre's worth of energy, shall we say. And when you squeeze stuff out of it, if it comes out in little drips, it's providing not very much energy at a time. But the idea is, how do you use that, if you like? And it's the same with batteries. So a battery will only hold so much energy, and the energy is used to heat the coil. And if you know how long in sucking time, if you like, you're going to get out of a pair of batteries that's in here, and you look down at this, if you want to reset it when you put a new set of batteries in, you can see then by how long you know it's lasted before it flaked out, roughly where you are in terms of whatever. I was getting around about 12 minutes of suck time for a pair of VTC4s, which is all I've been using in this. My other one of these Hell's Gates tells me that I've been sucking on it for, what is it? It's around about 5 hours since I got it. And this one, as you shall see very shortly, up at the top there in the middle, 55 minutes and 33 seconds. I shall take another drag, as one does, decent length one. And if we go back down to have a look, 55 minutes and 38 seconds. So, right, if I just press for 2 seconds, 39, right, 40, 55, 40 is where we're at. So let's now have another drag, and I have the horrible feeling my fire alarms are going to go off shortly, but let's not worry about that, shall we? I'll have another drag, and it's going to show me how long my drag is, which is useful, I suppose, and it'll give me some idea. Of what's going on. Let's have a look. That was a 5-second drag. That's how long that was, a 5-second drag on this Smok TF, which we'll have to have a look at separately. I've not come across these before. It just arrived yesterday, so I'm not really in a position to give you the authoritative kind of fling on it. Doesn't hold a fat lot of juice, but my God, it bangs it out. And that's at 76 watts. Let's go back to the Hell's Gate Touch 200 TC thing right now. I'll show you while I'm talking about it. Makes sense to do that. So there it is. It's actually branded up as from Yep, which is part apparently of Tesla. And Tesla has a 240 watt, I think, version of this coming out, which will be slightly different in appearance, which I'm hoping to get my mitts on to have a play with. As you can see, the screen knocks itself out. That's unchangeable at the moment. That may well change. It is chargeable via that port, but quite frankly, I would only do that in an emergency. It will take 5 volts, as it says, 2.4 amps, which will charge the batteries in an emergency, but I would strongly suggest you take them out. If you are going to charge via that USB port, I would swap the batteries over every couple of charges, just to be on the safe side, because I have seen them come off use and go onto the charger with different levels of charge in them. That said, it does not get warm as long as your batteries have got some charging. When they're getting right down low, it does, if your batteries are a bit weak, it does start to heat up a little bit, but nothing out of the ordinary. And it does have all of the protection on. If it's getting too hot, it'll just stop working. Do I like it? Yes, I do. I like it a lot. In fact, I would go so far as to suggest that I've been using my two Hell's Gate Touch 200s for the most part since I returned from Vapor Expo. Comfort in the hand. I'm a trigger finger guy, you know, and of course, as you'll note, when I press the button, the screen lights up. The other device I had, you couldn't turn the touch screen off. With this, as you look, we used to try and do that years and years ago, tried to get a whiteout camera. This one's 4 foot away from us, good grief. But you can see nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. I can wipe my hands all over it. Nothing. Doesn't change. And that to me is great. So you can thumb it, you can trigger finger it, you can do what you like, it's going to work for you. Comfort wise, it's a bit of a handful. I took it with me down to a bike meet a week ago, maybe a little bit longer. And one of the girls down there, she just went, "Hey, haven't you got a big one?" I had to hold that up so that her husband can say she was referring to the mod. She considers it to be quite large. It possibly is if you have small fingers. I haven't got small fingers or small hands. And it fits quite nicely. So that's it. That's the Hell's Gate Touch. It's no idea what it'll be retailing for. I know what I paid for it. They're all over the place. As per usual, Google is your friend, as you might say. And in terms of bits of kit, yeah, quite like it. I know some people don't. It's their choice. I quite like it. I've been using it a lot. So on that note, back to the studio. Aye, so there you are. Now, as I've just been reminded in chat, I was introduced to the inordinately cheapness of these things at Vape Expo by Brian Coe, who I consider to be a mate of sorts. Little busy buff. Yes, it was Brian that came up and said, "Have you seen these?" And I said, "No." And he said how much he paid for his, so I went and paid £15 less. As you do, as you do. And Matt got one as well, didn't you, Matt?
I did. There's mine right here.
Yes.
Is the red one like you just showed on your video?
Yes, I has the silver one as well. Silver. Yes. This is the one, actually, I can tell you now. 249 minutes and 3 seconds. That's going to go up. I haven't switched it on. Switch it bloody thing on. There you go. That's nice. Is yours eating batteries?
No, it's the two batteries in there last as long as they would in any other mod. I notice no difference whatsoever.
Well, out of a pair of VTC4s, I getting 12 to 12.5 minutes of suck time. And as any gentleman will tell you, 12 minutes of suck time is fabulous, isn't it, Matt?
Oh, it is. Absolutely. Definitely is. I would actually like to point out as well, not talking about suck time, in chat it's saying firm upgradable. It is firm upgradable, and you can also change the pictures on it. Now, Dave couldn't show that because he's got a Mac and he can't do it on a Mac. So for some reason, they've only got the software on a Windows machine. It's upsetting. But you can change the pictures and things like that if you've got a PC. So there we go.
Would you do me a favour when you're back fit and full and, you know what I mean, 100%?
Yes.
Could you do a bit on the PC bit for that, please?
Yeah, I can do that. I won't be able to update it because I've already done that, so I can't update it again because unless there's a newer version.
Well,
but I can do the pictures and stuff.
That'll be it.
Yeah.
That'll be brilliant because I have a PC, but I'm buggered if I'm going to get it out from under where it is and you know, fanny on with it. Everybody else has got a PC though, of some sort, haven't they?
Yes.
And they go on the interwebs, don't they?
Yes.
There's somewhere they need to go. That's where they need
Where's
to go. That would be change.org. There's links for this all over everywhere. This is the petition that we would like everybody to sign, and you'll see. Well, I better refresh it. I shall refresh it. Dink. It's refreshing. The little blue line's going across. Currently, 47,747 supporters. That's what it says. This is real time. It's actually happening live, right? Go and get everybody you know to sign this petition, right? The link's gone into chat, and it'll be all over everywhere. You don't have to look very far to find it. It'll be on Facebook. It'll be on Twitter. It'll be on LinkedIn. It'll be on Tumblr, it'll be everywhere. It'll be everywhere. And this is, you know, I said go to the VIP place before. Do that. Go to VIP. Talk to your people that you need to do what they're saying, and then follow this advice here, right? Because if you tell your MP and all the information is there, what you need to do, right? So I'm not going to go and run through it. What you need to do is do both. Do the VIP thing, right? Then do the change.org thing, and then there, NNA, nnalliance.org. Get your PC or your Mac or your iPad or your, what's the other thing called?
Android.
That's the one. Get your Android and go and do everything. Where NNA is looking for videos, right? And it's all on the site. Go there. Do it. Just do it. Like Keith said last week, just do it. And get everybody you know to do it. I've been posting it into bike forums and stuff like that, and people are acting on it. And I know with like change.org, it'll come back and email you, and if you've used the right link, it tells you that you've made people do it. I couldn't give a toss. I'm not interested in getting any of the kind of, you know what I mean, praise and kudos and crap like that. I'm not bothered. I just want people to do it. Just go and do it, right? Get everybody to say, I know I'm preaching to the converted, and I know I'm like a stuck record and crap like that, and that's fine. But please, 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 do it, and get more people to do it. Take it viral. I would love to think that by Monday morning, that was up to 100,000. You get that, and everybody is happy as a pig in clots. And see, if you do, there will be naked boobs on VTTV on Monday night. And Matt's looking forward to that, aren't you, Matt?
I'm not sure, actually. There's a fair amount of trepidation in my anticipation.
There's a fair amount of what in you itch?
Trepidation in my anticipation.
Is that legal?
I don't know, actually. We'll find out.
Apparently we will. Apparently we will. Yes. So, you know, just do it, and tell everybody you know to do it. If you're in a glass blowing forum, or a mug making forum, or a rug making forum, or any forum, anywhere you're at, Women's Institute, Mothers Union, out like that, just go and ask them to sign up, please. Please. Get them to do it. What they're going to do? You know, the worst they can do is tell you to fuck off. Well, fine. That's, you know, people do that to me all the time. It's because I'm fat and ugly and smell of wee and can't make it to the toilet on time.
Don't make me laugh. It hurts when I laugh.
See, when it gets like that, when somebody's nasty to us like that, I tend to pick up a device of sorts and take a really big tuck.
It wasn't going to be seamless. I can tell.
And blow a dirty grid chunk of vapour out. And I found a device that does that really well. Elsewhere in tonight's show, you will have seen that I was looking at the Hell's Gate with the Smok TF-RTA on top of it. I thought, I'll have a quick look at it and show people around it very quickly. It's brand new to me. I've not seen it before. I don't know how long it's been around or anything like that. But it's interesting. It's interesting for all sorts of reasons. Shall we? Let's. This is it. It looks like a TFV until you get TFV4 rather, until you get to that bit there. And I'm going to need to get really, really close up on this. It might get a bit wobbly. So in close up, this is what it is. One of the first things I want you to see is, right, the top end is what you would expect of a TFV4. And that means not easy to focus in, that it has this slide it off affair for filling. Go the right way on, David. That's it. Come on, you can do it. There you go. Sorry, I've got hands all over the place, but it is exactly what you would expect of a TFV4 for filling. So you shove your snake nose bottle down there. That actually would be TPD compliant. It's leak free. The filling mechanism, just the filling mechanism. So let's slide that back over so that we don't leak everywhere. As usual, the drip tip is removable, but I shall leave that in. And you can see here a juice flow control, and that happens by turning the top relative to the bottom, right? So you can close it off or you can open it up, and you'll see through there is a little screw head, and you'll see why in a minute. Airflow control here, as you would expect. So let me invert it and unscrew what is the build deck. Now I need to be careful here and just push that out of the way. And this, dear viewer, is the build deck, which is lifting with juice at the moment. And that little screw that you saw through the window is one of the tightening screws for holding in, there it is, that's the one you saw there. It's the tightening screws for holding in the coils, and it comes shipped with 4, count them, 4 Clapton coils. You have to wick it yourself, and well, you can see how that works. Put the wick through, tuck it down where the screws are, and then he said wiping the top end, and then it all fits into there. And you can see then that the juice flow ring, you can see the holes. Can you see the holes? Just see the holes there, and you can see how all that works. Yeah, so let's shove it back together. I have not yet had to rebuild it. As I said, this is very much for me a first look. It is very easy to get together, and that, I just love that juice flow control. Really nice. Really, really nice. So how much it holds is anybody's guess. I would say, frankly, that it doesn't hold much more than 2 mils. Indeed, I would suggest that if you only fill it up to the top of the glass, that would be exactly how much it would hold. Anyway, let's clag it onto a device and see where we get from there. But it's beautifully put together and dead easy to use, and it even has the bits of information you need there. It shows you, you know, where the locked, open, locked, open, locked, open. So it's a TF-RTA. Yeah. Right, let's clag it onto something. And as I did before, I shall clag it onto the Hell's Gate Touch. And it works very nicely on there. As you will have seen, if I've got these in the right order, that was running at 76 watts. It'll go higher than that. Ah yes, it's just worked out what it is. Those 4 coils actually scope out at 0.16 ohms. That's quite a chunk. Do you want to have a look on to the cam? Let's go to the cam. There's to the cam. I think you can see that works quite well, in fact. Shall I ramp it up? Yeah, I'll ramp it up. I've unlocked the touch, and I'm going to take it up to 100 watts. I have locked the screen. It's now at 100 watts. So again, on the big one. And that was just a little short drag, 3 seconds or so. At 100 watts, it is hot. If you like it hot, it's very hot. I'm going to drop it back down to where I had it, as one does. About 70 watts seems to be my sweet spot on this. And DMA, it throws it out. I'm here to tell you that I put it together yesterday for the first time and sat in my kitchen, and there is video of my smoke alarms going off on 2, count them, 2 drawers. Apparently it's set the smoke alarms off. Oops. I'm using Scream Queen in this, and the flavour is delightful for me. The startup flavour was gross. It was horrible. Very metallic, oily, not machine, just not nice. Now I am getting the full flavour of the Scream Queen coming through. It's like eating a custard cream biscuit, which is what it's supposed to taste like. I've discovered that if you have juice going through at the right rate, it doesn't crackle too much. If you get it slightly wet, it crackles like a good one. I'm not going to complain at that. Is this a device to use on a plane or a train or where people might get offended? No. Is it a device to use where you can blow dirty great big clouds and thoroughly enjoy it? Hell yes. I've not had clouds like that out of a tank for donkey yonks. I shall press it into further use and see how it goes, but at the moment I'm liking that. Like I say, I don't know whether it's new to the market or what it is. I've no idea. I just know I got one yesterday, and thank you very much for sending it. Yes, it was a gift, a prezi. I like prezzies like that. There you go. Not promoting it in any way, shape or form. It's lush. Long may it remain. Back to the studio. Oops. We were talking.
We were.
Apparently, I'm going to just put it out there, and I'm going to bring Sav up. Sav, come up.
I'm up, I'm here.
Yes, because we were talking about temperature control and how we on the VTTV team have been bad influences on Sav, haven't we, Sav?
Completely bad influences. I was quite happily vaping away on non-temperature controlled stuff. Quite the thing, enjoying my merry little self. And then this lot nagging, no, you need to try temperature control, and I tried temperature control, and now I need more temperature control stuff, and that's like...
If you remember, Sav, before the new format, I actually did an entire show dedicated to explaining temperature control to you, didn't I?
You did, yes. And they were right, it is really good. And I've now got drawers full of mods that I'm like, I don't want to use you anymore. I only want to use temperature control, so I now have to get lots of more temperature control stuff, which means new tanks, new mods, and I blame those people.
Which people?
You people.
What? Me? No,
Yes, you.
You
Marco, Dave Kitson, but mainly you two.
Why us two? What have we done?
Just look, you can't deny it. It was you, as Matt said. He dedicated an entire show to explaining it to me.
Your protest is somewhat nullified by the cat's tail in your face.
I know, Dickhead spoiled everything.
You really can't be serious when you're looking at a cat's pencil sharpener, can you?
No, it makes life very difficult.
Why? I've never understood this. Why do cats feel this need to show you their arseholes?
I don't know, they're obviously very proud of them.
I'm proud of mine, but I'm not sure that everybody.
No, well, what can you say? My cats like to do this. It's like, hello, here is my bottom. Let's move on.
I get it with hi-fi, but the other one should know better.
She's been taught by a bad influence, what can I say?
Yes. Shall we go back to what we were talking about in terms of that?
Oh, the TF-RTA thing.
Yeah. Because you've got one, haven't you?
I've got one. It's right here. Yeah.
And
It's, well, I can't appreciate the flavour or anything because I can't taste anything right now. But it's putting clouds out. Certainly doing that.
mine isn't.
Also, it's got, no, is it not?
No.
It's got the weirdest deck I've ever seen. I'll tell you that much.
The bit I liked was the fact that I managed to wick it with one length of cotton.
Yeah.
That's cracking. That is absolutely cracking. Oh my God. SFM Ekphysis has just said, and I'm really hoping that that's female, I love my pussy.
Could be talking about that. Could be talking about an energy drink. There's an energy drink called Pussy.
Oh, there is, yes.
Is there? I've never heard of it.
Have you never heard of that, Dave?
No.
No.
Somebody has just mentioned that they looked at, the double barrel silver bullet review. It's on my channel. Oh my God.
Where it all began.
That is exactly where it all began. And who was the root of that?
That was my mother.
That was your mother.
Yep.
Now, bless her soul, if anybody out there ever puts a thumbs down to anything that comes out of VTTV, you are disrespecting the memory of my sister from another blister. Because it was her. It was her what started it all.
Totally her. And I warped to the brain. Totally her.
Yeah, right. That is the bombshell upon which I'm going to bring this show to an end. I've got to, because otherwise I'll bubble, because I miss her. I don't half miss her. I really do. Every night I sit here doing this show, and this is not the side of talk, and this is fact. Every night I sit here doing this show, and I hear Kat's voice in me head. And last week, all I could hear when I watched the show back was, "You fucking bastard, Dawn. You shouldn't do things like that. How are you going to stand in front of people that are in public health and talk to them when you've used language like that?" And that's exactly what you would have said, isn't it?
It's exactly what she would have said, but you also know she would have said it with a giant smirk on her face.
Or she'd have been grinning all over everywhere. She absolutely would. She absolutely would.
And what she'd be saying right now is, "Shut up, Dawn."
She would. It's true. It's true. It's true. Right, look, let's try and bring this show to a positive end. We've actually missed content out tonight, and I want to say a big thank you to everybody that's been watching. I'm not one of these that kind of says like, subscribe, and all that stuff, but like, subscribe, and comment, and all of share. Oh, you know what I mean, right? I'm not good at that kind of stuff, and I'm not good at saying thank yous to people and stuff like that, because I am basically a shy boy. No laughing at the back, or you'll be at the corner. But I'm not good at stuff like that. But I will say this, right? I went down to Doncaster on the bike at the weekend, And all right, there wasn't 1,000,005 people there, but I don't think that matters. I know Matt and Mark are going to be talking about this on Monday, but just to preempt it slightly, I had a bloody marvellous day. Meeting the people I met, talking to the people I talked to. Those folks who came and expressed gratitude, seriously, it's my privilege to do it. Whatever it is I do. And I'm not sure whether I do much. But I'm kind of taken that people feel... Help us out, Sav, will you? Because I'm crap at this.
Thank you is basically all that needs to be said.
There you are.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you. Just thank you. And thank you to everybody for watching what we do here on VTTV. We do it because we love it. And we do it because actually we're really fond of everybody that watches. I know quite often it doesn't seem that way, but we are. Just hit the change org, hit VIP, talk to your MP, do what you can. We're at the point where we can actually make a difference. I'll talk to you about Vape Fest Ireland next week or the week after. Let's just put it like this. The chicken's not roasted till it falls off the spit. And at the minute, it hasn't fallen off the spit. That's all I'm going to say. So until next time, until we see you anon on Monday night with Matt and Mark Ward. Do you know what you're doing yet, Matt?
No, I haven't seen the list yet.
I see. Fair enough. Okay, it'll be a good show. I know there's stuff already in the can ready for that, and I can't wait for it because it's going to be fabulous. So until Monday night when we see you next, oops, little burp there, I do apologise. Can I just say, vape on, vape hard, and don't let the bastards grind you down. We'll see you next week. Until then, take care, be good to each other, and enjoy life. Take care. Bye bye. We're done then, Matt.
Yeah, I think so.
I
Did we
see.
cut the stream yet?
Nah. Neil Robinson's come back in.
Has he?
Aye.
Plan for punishment.
Well, do you know something? I've got to say this, like, I'm so ashamed of myself. I didn't recognise him when I went down to Doncaster.
Ah.
Well, I've never seen him in the flesh. I've only ever
Have you
seen...
not?
No, I've only ever seen his picture on...
Does he not look like his picture?
Nout like it.
Oh.
You look at his picture on Twitter and you think, okay. And I had him pegged at like 5'6", 5'7", something like that. Slim and I don't know, kind of average, right? What a brilliant bloke. He spent so much time sorting folks out at Vape Collective. And what a brilliant fella. What a brilliant fella. And yes, Neil, I know we're live. And I just wanted to say thank you for everything you did over the weekend, and thank you to everybody I met over the weekend down at Vape Collective. And the lads that put that on, you're stars, absolute stars, and there's no other word for it. Right, that's it. The end of the show now, really. I just saw it come back in because I do keep an eye on chat. I'm a little bugger sometimes, I know. And I've just realised that 2-up shot isn't right. I've made an arse of it again. Oh. Neil, I know you're there and I know you're listening. Next time we get a chance to have a pint together, mate, you and I are going to get completely, totally and utterly blitzed. You're one of me heroes. You're one of me heroes. Right, that's it. Night all. Vape on.